This call is from a correction facility and is subject to monitoring and recording. Thank you for using GTL.
There were no races before 1676. During that time, Europeans and Africans were mixed. On the plantations, as servants and slaves, united as one, cradle to grave. They suffered, lived, loved, and died the same. Then in 1676, revolt came. Nathaniel Bacon, a planter himself, had a vision to enhance his wealth by raiding Indians on surrounding lands, but the government knew they couldn't stand. All the First Nations banded against them, so they rebuked Bacon, and this incensed him. In turn, Bacon went into a rage, incited a revolt, united servants and slaves, promising them freedom if they would ride against the government on his side. The revolt was lit, and they burned down the colonial capital at Jamestown. The governor, William Berkeley, fled, and Nathaniel Bacon rose to the head of power won by a slave uprising. 6 months later, from the flu, Bacon died, and English reinforcements arrived, took command, regained control after one last stand of African rebels who refused to return to slavery and its abuse. Back in power, the planters realized they were outnumbered by slaves and had to devise a system to divide their numbers and themselves protect, use one part of the poor to keep the rest in check. It was this need and at this time that they first invented the color line. In 1682, created laws dividing Negro and white, phased out white servitude, gave them guns to fight against the blacks whom they portrayed as ordained by God to be permanent slaves, taught the poor whites that they were the brothers of the rich planters based on skin color. Then they created a force for armed control, united all whites into slave patrols, with muskets, hounds, and on horseback to terrorize and keep black slaves in check. Meantime, the planters, through the churches and schools, perfected their system of divide and rule, portraying blacks as evil, the lowest of life, inventing all sorts of dehumanizing stereotypes. This is how racism first began, so effective that mass control has spread across the land, and is still used today for control. Whenever the masses rile up, those in power play the race blame game, inciting people based on color to turn their outrage against each other. Even though today scientists deny that racism exists and expose the lie, invented by political conniving for social control, the race game still has a secure hold on masses of people because it remains a tool of the capitalist system's divide and rule. The game works by inciting division, whether it's white, black, red, or brown chauvinism. What we must do among ourselves is realize it's a tool of those with wealth to keep the workers and poor all at bay and divert our attention and struggles away from the common enemy, who once again is the wealthy minority with their hands in control of all the power, the basic things that working people create and we all need to survive, to live and thrive. So we must unite and fight, seize the time.